Hey, I'm Haley.
And I'm Mandy.
And this is
Extension in the Kitchen.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. I am thrilled to have my co-worker Mandy with us today. She is our 4-H youth development agent and gets to work with all of the kiddos in Stanley County for her role. And so I have invited her on today to talk a little bit about 4-H and what they have going on, exciting and upcoming. And we are also going to make some delicious jam today. So this is kind of important to us because we're not making, your traditional strawberry jam, right?
Yeah, it's non-traditional, that's for sure.
Yes. So tell the group, what are we making today?
We are going to be making jam out of an edible flower. And this is a common flower that I bet Stanley County citizens are used to seeing this time of year. It is from the eastern redbud tree. So if you're driving along the roadside and you look along the forest edge right now, you're not going to see a whole lot of leaves, but you are going to see some pretty purple, pink flowers. And those are edible. And we are going to be making them into jam. The eastern redbud tree, or Cercis canadensis, is the scientific name.
Yeah, and Mandy told me yesterday when we were talking about doing this show together that there is nutritional value to these flowers. And so I looked it up, and they are a great source of vitamin C. So that was very interesting to me as someone who teaches a lot of nutrition and cooking programming in the county. And it's always important for me to find ways to reduce that risk of chronic disease. So, if you're looking for a little healthy snack on a walk one day and you come across one of these guys, feel free to pick them off and maybe get you a little bit of vitamin C as well. So I thought this was a really great idea. Mandy had to make some jam. And so we're just going to dive right in and start doing this. So the first thing you want to do, obviously, is find yourself a redbud tree.
And make sure that you're identifying these correctly. You don't want to pick up something that is not edible. These are really small flowers. They grow in clusters. They grow off of the actual bark. So that's one good way to tell.
Yeah, and it's fun to collect these with your family members too. Mandy went ahead and gathered plenty of these up for us to make jam out of with her daughter. And y'all had a good time doing this, right?
We did.
Yeah.
We had a good time. And she even packed some in her lunch to take to school the next day.
How cool is that? I love it. I love it. That's awesome. So these are just absolutely beautiful little flowers. As Mandy said, these are beautiful little flowers. And she said, hold on, there's a worm in there, which is perfect. It's perfect. I'm going to express that because the very first step that you want to do after picking your rosebud flowers is you want to thoroughly rinse them and pick out any potential twigs. Get out any bugs, any worms. If a couple end up in there, we're gonna cook them right down anyway. So it's not gonna be the worst thing, right?
Added protein.
That's right. But definitely, if you've got some critters in there, that is the very first step we want to do is try to remove any of that debris and pests that might be there. So I'm gonna hand this to our lovely helper for the day, and we've got a colander. And we're just going to rinse this well and go through that as well.
God, that really was.
And make sure she gets out all those worms.
I was afraid to
It is raining here today in Stanley County, and so we went and picked some more this morning, and so there probably are some critters that got on there. right. Okay.
I know the worm is still there. Just don't zoom in on the bowl.
All right, awesome. So she got that rinsed off. And so the next step, very simple. We're gonna take 2 cups of water and we're gonna pour it right here in our pot. And I'm gonna crank this up to high because what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this water to a rolling boil before we add in the rest of our ingredients. And so I thought this is a perfect time, because it does take a little bit of time to get water to boil, as we know, to talk more about the 4-H Youth Development Program. And so, Mandy, before we dive into some of the specifics, what does 4-H stand for? What is this all about?
4-H stands for Head, Heart, Hands, and Health. And 4-H is the youth development program of North Carolina Cooperative Extension. And so the goal is to teach youth life skills, leadership, and citizenship skills through the wide programming across the county.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
And so you coming into this this program, what is your vision? What's your big goal and your big vision for 4-H? Where do you see this program going?
Well, first of all, do you happen to know how many young people aged 5 to 18 we have in Stanley County?
I don't.
All right. So according to our most recent census, we have 9,745 5 to 18-year-olds. And this is the age group that 4-H serves. Mm-hmm. So in the long term, it is my goal to build a program in Stanley County that reaches the widest possible cross-section of that 9,745 kids that we want to reach.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so COVID did a number on the 4-H program across the state, across the nation. And so when I came into the program, it was kind of slow. Mm-hmm. But what I want to see happen, and where we are going right now, is to a place where we have a strong network of clubs. That's one of the ways that 4-H reaches kids. We also just do special programming as well as school enrichment, where we offer teachers and students the opportunity to use 4-H curriculum in the classroom. And so we are looking to build a strong network of clubs, a strong network of volunteers. Because imagine how it might be for one person to reach 9,745 kids.
Impossible.
It's impossible. But the good thing about 4-H is we also train adult volunteers to work with our students. So we need a strong network of volunteers to build a strong network of clubs and help us reach into all of the corners of Stanley County.
I love that, and it's kind of intimidating and exciting at the same time, I'm sure, to start off with such a blank slate. But I will say Mandy has really hit the ground running and is really taking off with building some of these new clubs. But as she said, volunteers are so important. We can have the most outreach with this. So if you have a place in your heart to work with children, if there's a certain topic or subject you're super passionate about, that's definitely the type of people that she's looking for to really guide children and get them excited about different areas and help them to grow into amazing human beings, right?
That's right. And you know what? You don't even have to be an expert in a particular area of interest. Maybe you're just somebody who just likes working with kids. And 4-H clubs are kid-led, so if they have an interest, it's the 4-H leader's job, and we will help to bring the children to a place where they can learn, and bring in experts that can be that expert on that topic, if that makes sense.
Very cool.
And we actually, it takes 2 co-leaders to run a club. And while we have 3 clubs right now that kids might be interested in joining, we have the Rocky River Riders, a horse-focused club. We have a meteorology-focused club and a farm-focused club, which is called Sunny Oaks Farm Club.
Ooh.
But we have several clubs that are ready to go, but they don't have an additional co-leader. So please contact us. We have one called the Stanley County Rabbit Rangers, which will be focused on showing show rabbits.
How neat.
We have a general interest club in the Oakboro area, and we also have the Kitchen Kids, which is a cooking club. So, as soon as we can get our co-leaders, those clubs will be ready to go too.
Yeah, Yeah, and they can host these clubs wherever they want.
Absolutely.
They don't even have to meet at the same spot.
That's right.
They can really turn it into whatever they foresee, as long as they're following the right guidelines.
That's right. That's exactly right. And we will provide the training for that.
Very cool. I love this because I feel like I'm always in my own lane, and so I love learning about what my coworkers are doing as well. We are boiling, so let's go ahead and add some stuff. Will you toss in our red buds into the boiling water?
Yes.
So what we're doing, we're extracting all of the nutrients, we're extracting even the color, the beautiful color from these flowers to make this jam. So we're gonna keep it at that boiling.
In fact, there is a redbud tree on the property this morning, and when I pulled into work, I noticed that there was a little bird's nest in our redbud tree and a little squirrel sitting in the redbud tree. We've already know that there are insects that love the redbud flowers, so these are a great thing to add to your landscape. They're also really beautiful, like a whole lot of our native plants.
They are pretty.
So yeah, if you're interested in supporting our 4-H program, growing native plants in your yard, definitely check out our website for the plant sale, go.ncsu.edu/native plant sale.
That's so wonderful. And so all the funding that you get through this plant sale, what does that go towards?
It stays right here in Stanley County 4-H program.
Okay.
It is one of my personal goals to make all of our 4-H programming as low cost as possible. So if not free, definitely very low cost. One of the other ways that we reach kids in Stanley County is that we help send them to summer camp. So 4-H camps are really, really popular, and they can be expensive. So these funds stay, and again, they help us with all of our programming through the year and help reduce those funds for summer camp.
So the next step we're going to do is we're going to cool this mixture. So we'll put it in the refrigerator and get it nice and cool. So we will be right back. Now it's nice and cool so that we can strain out all the goodness that we need to make our jelly. So what we can do here is we've got a bowl, we've got a colander so that we can catch all the good things, because what we're wanting to do is make sure we get all the actual flowers, any particulates, right? Any particulates out of this mix, so we just have the liquid that we want to use. And so what you can do to catch all the things is you can use either a cheesecloth, you can use a coffee filter, or a very fine mesh strainer of some kind. Okay, so we're gonna use this cloth today. So Mandy's gonna show us, we're just gonna cut a piece of that off. Perfect, she's a pro. And putting it right in there to catch all the things that we don't want. And I love this too about the cloth is you can just pour it right in. Hopefully, carefully. I feel like I'm a bull in a china shop today. And then Mandy's just gonna squeeze all that to get all the juices out, catch as much of that liquid that we worked for as possible. And we don't really want, you know, again, we don't want any bugs, any twigs. We don't even want the flowers necessarily in this. I think it would be pretty though.
It could be.
Yeah, I mean, if they're edible, why not stick them in there? So again, it's not that it's wrong, it's just that traditionally our jelly consists of a juice, sugar, acid. It doesn't have the actual pieces. So if we decided we wanted to make it more of a preserve, then we could leave the flowers in. Yeah, absolutely.
Are we ready to lift this off?
Yes.
Look.
So yeah.
So pretty.
So look, we could just put that in a cup and drink it, right?
I think we could.
I don't know what it tastes like, but we definitely could. All right, so we've got that, guys. We've strained it. We've pressed the liquid out. So now we are going to grab our our pot again. We're going to bring this back to a boil because we have to add in our sugar, and we need to add a little bit of butter because butter helps to reduce all that foaming that happens when you boil your liquid with your sugar. You can get a lot of foam on top, and we just do not want that in our jar, okay? So I'm gonna grab this back again, just kind of rinse it out. Okay. And we'll just add this right back to here. There's one little particulate that ended up back in there. I think I'm gonna grab him out. There we go. I want our jam to be nice and pretty. So we'll put that in there. Crank it back up. Okay. All right. So we're going to get this boiling first, and then we are going to go from there. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So we have our liquid here with our drained juice from our red buds, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's coming to a boil, and this is what we want because we're going to add our powdered pectin. So our powdered pectin, that's the important part to add for this to turn into a jelly. There are also liquid pectins out there. We don't want that for this one. We're going to make sure we use our powdered. So we're going to do 2 tablespoons, keeping it boiling, okay?
3 tablespoons.
Oh, is it 3?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, we'll add in one more then. All right, let's do one more. Okay. And 3 tablespoons of lemon juice as well, right?
Mm-hmm, that's correct.
Okay. So 3 tablespoons of our lemon juice. So it will have that acid in there. We want that as well. Okay. And then it says to bring it back to a rolling boil, which we are pretty much there. And we're going to add how much sugar?
We are going to add 2 cups of
2
sugar.
cups of sugar. Perfect. So we just got our white granulated sugar over here. And I am going to let Mandy add in our sugar because she has been so sweet to join us today. And I'm going to make sure this stays boiling because we don't want anything to burn to the bottom. So we're going to keep it going. Perfect.
I just love the color we're getting.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful color for sure. And now, Mandy, can you turn on a timer? We need a timer for 1 minute. We're going to bring all this to a rolling boil for 1 whole minute to make sure everything combines nicely and our pectin is activated. So we're just going to keep it going.
You know, somebody told me that another way to enjoy Eastern redbud flowers is to add them to cucumber sandwiches.
What?
Yes, they said.
Have you ever done that?
I haven't, but I would like to. I think it would be great in a salad too, or even like as a little garnish for the top of like a cupcake or like a slice of cake or something. Because they are sweet, they are a little bit tangy, and they're so pretty.
They are pretty. This color is just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I've done lots of jams, but this is the first time I've made jam out of a flower. So it's a fun experience for me, for sure.
So Haley, we do have something else coming up that is 4-H related and
Yeah.
does apply to the citizens of Stanley County. On May the 1st, We are going to have a listening session and workshops opportunity for community members. It is hosted by the NC State University College of Education. They have educational resources available. They would love to put some of those to work in our local communities. And so they are going around to select counties, Stanley being one of the ones that was chosen, and just talking to citizens. They will be providing dinner that night, and they will also be having some workshops to help parents of children of all different ages as they raise up their little babies. So yeah, like helping young kids learn to read, helping multilingual learners, and then there's also a session that is more focused on creating resilience in young teens and high schoolers.
That's a wonderful opportunity.
Yeah.
So in order to sign up for that, did they just call our office?
They can call our office. They can also go to our website or check out our Facebook. There is an Eventbrite link to sign up and get tickets, but it does not cost anything. And again, dinner will be provided that night. It'll be here at the Stanley County Agri-Civic Center.
Very good. Ooh, dinner's included. You can't beat that. Food always gets me every time. So another thing in this recipe that you can add, which we did add to a previous one, and I wanted to leave it out of this one just to see how the foaming did for this recipe. So it does give the opportunity to add a couple teaspoons of butter, and butter can help reduce some of the foaming. So you see we're doing a lot of boiling, and so it can create a foam on top. But if you look, we really didn't get any foam from this jelly. So it looks like it's not too big of a deal if you omit that, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're making refrigerator jelly today, which kind of makes it a little bit quicker of a process. We're not having to process it in a water bath canner. And so the only thing is when you have refrigerator jelly versus your processed jelly, this refrigerator jelly will last in the refrigerator about 3 weeks. So if you make a bunch, share it with your friends, and make sure you put some on your toast or on your biscuit, however you like your jelly, so that it doesn't go to bad. But also if you get freezer safe jars, you can store it up to a year in your freezer as well. So that's awesome. But there is just a little bit of foam. Is foam okay to have? It's fine. I'll show you what that foam kind of looks like. It looks like that. And so it will just be in the jar, and it won't be as clear and as pretty as maybe some people might want it to be. But otherwise, completely fine to have in there.
As long as it tastes good, that's all I care about.
That's right. Grab us 3 jars, and so the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to pour this directly in our jars. So something else about this, if you are going to be putting it in your freezer, you are going to want to have a little bit of head space at the top for room for expansion. So usually with our jellies, our jams, our preserves, anything like that, what we do is we make sure we have 1/4 of an inch of head space. And again, that's just that space between where the food stops and the lid meets. So you're gonna leave that space again for that expansion. So since this is going to be for us, I'm not gonna worry about that little tiny bit of foam. We'll keep the pretty ones for ourselves. Fill all this right up.
Tell you what, foam or not, it is really pretty.
It is really pretty, and it smells pretty too. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Perfect. So this fills up right at 3 half pints. And so we're just going to put those lids on. And again, remember, you've got about 3 weeks in the refrigerator, right out a year in the freezer, and you're good to go. All right. So will you put those in the refrigerator for us?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. They're really hot. Here, I'm going to hold that one for you so you don't too much. There you go. All right. Thank you, Mandy. So we wanted to show you guys our finished product. So we went ahead and made you guys some because we wanted several to try, didn't we? But these are absolutely beautiful and all came from just walking right outside of your house, actually, was where these came from. And we have something to enjoy that costs very, very little.
Yeah.
I really want to open it up.
Look at
And
that.
just show you guys. And it's a perfect jelly consistency. As you can see, you want a little bit of movement. And we really need to try this out. Do you want to try it?
Yeah. we
Okay,
should.
let's plate this and try it with a little bit of bread and see what we think. We'll give you guys some feedback, okay? All right, guys, so we just grabbed us a piece of bread because me and Mandy, we really want to see how this turned out. So we're going to try this out together. Oh, okay. Very nice consistency. I got to put a lot because we got to be able to taste this.
Yeah.
But I usually don't recommend this on my shows because, as y'all know, I'm always like, eat less sugar. But everything in moderation, right, guys?
Well, it cancels it out because of all of those healthy benefits, right? The vitamin C.
I don't think so. But we'll go with that for today's show anyway. All right. Oh, we don't want to lose any. Okay. All right, is that good?
Yes.
Okay, let's try this. All right, let's cheers.
Cheers. That's good. That's really good.
That's a very different, I can't explain it. Y'all just have to come down here. Come visit us. I have to eat some more. That's good.
Yeah. I have a second.
All right, we're gonna have to eat some more of this, so we're gonna let you guys go. But Mandy, is there anything else you want to share about 4-H that you feel like, you know, anybody that hasn't been involved in 4-H, or maybe they've just been disconnected from us for a while and you want to get them up to speed? Anything you want to say?
Yes, I want everybody to go follow us on Facebook. I'd love to see everybody following the Stanley County Cooperative Extension page as well as the Stanley County 4-H page. And if you have a young person who would like to join a 4-H club or maybe aren't sure, but hopefully like this summer, we actually have our Summer Blast program getting ready to come out. We're going to have something for all ages, 5 to 18, and we have about 6 different activities that will be out in the, very, very soon, hopefully by the end of March, if not beginning of April for sure. And so we just, in any 4-H program that you participate in, you have to be enrolled at 4honline.com. So go ahead, visit that site, it doesn't cost anything, and enroll your young person. And that way they'll be ready to go if they see a program that they want to participate in. So definitely check us out on social media. That's one way that we get the information out. We also have a mailing list on our website that you can sign up for to receive emails from us. Yeah, and we hope to see all of our young people this summer in 4-H.
Yes.
Summer Blast.
That's my favorite time, is doing our Summer Blast stuff. So I hope y'all had fun making some refrigerator jam with us today that's just from our native plants. Maybe you want to come by, learn more about what we have going on in 4-H, see what it takes to be a volunteer.
Get a native plant for your yard.
Get a
from our
native
plant
plant.
sale.
The options are endless, right? But thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.